degrees. I was tempted to restart there, but I can't. I shouldn't even be pausing these, but I am. However, we'll see. Maybe today will be different. Let's start with NASA contractor warns a Boeing launch must be stopped before something catastrophic happens. I'm pretty sure every launch is a pretty big risk. 3 movies that totally misrepresent psychological disorders. Psychological disorders. Mental health, psychological disorders. Girl Interrupted misrepresents what borderline personality disorder is like and how treatment works. A Beautiful Mind presents a sanitized view of schizophrenia, how its treatment and long-term impact. Rain Man contributed to a narrow view of what it means to be on the autism spectrum and to be a savant. Well, only had 90 minutes. And people don't like anything outside themselves, so. Physicists reach atomic scale telepathy with light. Telegraphy with light. Atomic scale telegraphy with light. So you teleport something, you telegraph. Okay. Addiction is not a choice. Local students call for compassion. It's kind of fun when you hear electric cars now. In the park, it's very quiet today. Just because it's later. Addiction is not a choice. Local students call for compassion. Mayor suggests cities should have a safe injection site. There's political backlash on the town. Some of the stories you tell yourself may be wrong. Neuralink's brain chip implant malfunctioned, and the company reportedly considered removing it from patient. Ready to retire? No. The dangers of confusing activity with productivity. Hours, not days. Concerns grow around the accuracy of THC roadside testing in Sask. Do you know THC, everyone in Saskatchewan? Can't talk today, Grace. Maybe I need to go for a run across that field. Concern is growing around roadside THC testing, cannabis use, and driving in Saskatchewan. In recent weeks, online forums and websites like Reddit and Facebook have gained additional followers and attention, with many people asking questions about the accuracy of roadside THC testing, fearing they could be penalized even if they're long past the point of intoxication or haven't used in days. Well, how does the test work? Positive oral fluid sample. But is that coming from It's a big waste of fucking money and time and effort, in my opinion. Apparently the trains agree. I realized yesterday, Grace, after talking about Tabitha and someone wrecking a room, if it happens, no big deal. If they wreck the room, they have a choice. They can clean it, or they can fix it if they want, or we'll just leave it. The next time someone feels like wrecking a room, we'll set up that one as our room wrecker. Just like they have those places you can go break shit, we'll do that too. Someone needs to take out some physical frustration, we'll set it up. What's the big deal? We'll just beat the shit out of all the garbage before it goes into the dumpster, whatever. I thought this was too good to be true. You see my legs, Grace? I'm clearly a fashionable fellow. As long as you can buy it at Walmart. Look like a square hot dog. Could be a good roadside test for THC. No idea. Scientists demonstrate the potential of electron spin to transmit quantum information. I mean, how many different companies are working on that? They won't work together. Quantum breakthrough sheds light on perplexing high-temperature superconductors. Chronic opioid users died decades younger than the average. No kidding. Researchers establish commercially viable processes for manufacturing with promising new class of metals. Systematic epigenome editing captures the context-dependent instructive function of chromatic. Letters, May 6. Finding the source of addiction. A need for tough love. That fountain. Yeah, no shit. Pretty sure that's what I've been talking about. Just find the source. Which can be different for every single person. We need new thinking to tackle the overdose crisis. We are losing more addicts per day from overdoses than ever. But when we are adding more addicts every day than we are losing, what does this tell us? From an analytical viewpoint, the obvious course of action is to find the source of the addiction and deal with it. The commentary said that in districts that actually measure this kind of information, which we do not, studies tell them that over 80% of addicts in treatment start with connections to only 2 drug dealers. This is astonishing information. This tells me that the bulk of our resources would be better directed to locating and stopping the source. No. Makes no difference. They just find another one. Basic fucking logic. I know it sounds daunting, but doing everything possible to keep an addict alive who's intent on killing himself is not working. Only extending a long, drawn-out, agonizing existence, which makes me very sad. Me too. I have friends who have lost children to the destruction, and I'm included in that count. Target the source and stop the induction of the invulnerable before they become horribly addicted, brain damaged, and further drenched. Where a romantic relationship begins can dictate its course. Where a romantic relationship begins can dictate its course. Oh, I got some bad news for you, Grace. The right place at the right time. A romantic relationship begins where a man. The right place at the right time. Where a romantic relationship begins can dictate its course. Key points. The right setting is crucial for romantic initiation success. Some settings are more appropriate than others when it comes to initiation. Men are overall more accepting of initiation attempts. I'd like to know how many drug addicts collaboration identifies rare nuclear decay in long-lived potassium isotope. BC embeds mental health stigma and discrimination in legal regulation. Well, drilling incentive could open up more extraction potential in Southeast Sask. Canada foreign market student push mismatched job data. Market shows. Data shows. What is life like at SpaceX? Elon Musk. New research shows what makes sister relationships so unique. Breakthrough method pierces ionosphere to reveal radial universe in stunning clarity. Gene identified as key to learning and memory. Turn it on. Your level of physical activity could be a vital sign. Fusion reactors could create ingredients for a nuclear weapon in weeks. Amazingly detailed image reveals a single cubic millimeter of human brain in 3D. Mother grieves son and daughter methadone. Mother grieves son and daughter. Methadone prescribing has to change. That's an interesting point. Train's in a hurry. For some reason, methadone's okay in most rehabs. I still like the idea of wet and dry. And also, what they should do is reveal should follow the money, because in Canada, at least the rumor was, that doctors make a lot of money off methadone for some reason. I don't know. Someone should investigate that. How dependent is China on U.S. artificial intelligence technology? Remapping revisited how the hippocampus represents different spaces. The global synthetic drugs crisis has hit West Africa, where people are digging up human bones to make a... what the fuck? Drug called Kush. So there's drugs. Well, clearly the world is not fucking happy, because everyone's trying to get fucking high any fucking way they can. There is a state of emergency in April over rising cases of synthetic drug abuse due to the spread of Kush, which contains ground human bones, locals say. What the fuck does it do? No statistics. Origin and compensation. TikTok to start labeling AI-generated content as technology becomes more universal. Not a bad fucking idea. The world's largest carbon removal plant is here, and bigger ones are on the way. Yeah, way easier than just fucking planting trees. A book review, a heartfelt chorus of voices weaves BC indigenous culture and stories. Nobody reads anymore. Are Tim Hortons new lids woke? One conservative MP thinks so. I would guess they're probably the cheapest fucking ones they could buy. Tim Hortons announced last month that they'll be trying out new fiber lids at certain locations in Ottawa. McGill encampment protesters take down controversial letter, but still have support in Quantico. Men hired for home rentals accused of assaulting senior in Portage la Prairie. Cusp ranked Air Canada dismal out of all airlines in North America. Blah blah boycotters say they were offered 60k points after trying to cancel PC Optimum. Going back to reading the news as boring as possible. Scientists map the lost Atlantis continent of Sahel. Scientists discover new type of cell in the liver. Took them long enough. Research developed personalized cancer treatment for Are you out of touch? Definitely. Justin and Hailey Bieber announced pregnancy. Trump lawyers presses Stormy Daniels on day 14 of hush money trial. These landlords agreed to help with homelessness, but end up with trash properties. It's because it takes more than a shelter. Again, you can't just hide them off the fucking street. What did you expect was going to happen? He never imagined this would happen. Well then, I guess he didn't think very fucking hard. got airplane, train, another train. Triple applause break. Well, this is not a great episode. A dream come true. Eight signs you're a high quality man according to psychology. Let's see if this is as good as that truly remarkable woman one. Maybe a little bit more interesting. Eight signs you're a high quality man according to psychology. We sometimes include products we think useful for our readers. Yeah, I think this is the same person, I think. Tina Fey. Don't be fooled, it's not Saz Walt or even the perfect six-pack that makes a high-quality guy. In fact, flashy guys who are waiting for the crying babies to leave. In fact, flashy guys who are overly confident may profess to be high value, but in reality they may simply be caught up in arrogance. That's my point, Grace. The value of a man comes down to his character. Does he strive to be his best version? How he shows up for himself and others tells you everything you need to know. At the end of the day, psychology tells us that it's some humbling qualities that make a man high quality. Give a damn about others. Far from being out for number one, cooperation and collaboration are important to you. You care about those around you. You show empathy, kindness, consideration, and altruism as much as you can. Okay, so nobody is a complete angel, but the bottom line is that you do care about other people's feelings. You're not prepared to trample on others to get ahead in life. If winning means being a jerk, you're not willing to cross that line. That's why you don't need anyone watching over you. As we'll see next, you have the maturity to know how to behave with decency. Not too sure what that. You police your own behavior. Goddamn rights. You don't need anyone to keep you in line. You live by your own code of conduct. Let's face it, some guys do feel like if they can get away with something, then what's the harm in it? Having fun on his motorbike. Nice sunny day. Let's face it, some guys do feel like if they can get away with something, then what's the harm in it? Yet high quality men have morals and principles to guide them. You do the right thing not because you're worried about getting caught, but because it's the right thing. The reality is that doing whatever's right isn't always easy. It takes inner strength and determination. It also requires the ability to get real with yourself, and that involves self-awareness, as we're about to see. 3, you know your flaws, but you're working on them. High quality men tend to have plenty of emotional intelligence. This skill not only allows them to have stronger relationships with others, but also helps them to have a healthier connection to themselves. That's because self-awareness is a key component of having a high EQ. It helps you to evaluate yourself, and that's essential for personal growth. Psychologists Shelley Duvall and Robert Wickland describe self-awareness as the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. If you're highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. To develop ourselves, it helps to be able to see ourselves clearly. That involves accepting who you are, including your weaknesses and your flaws, yet believe that you can continuously evolve. In many ways, it's about a growth mindset that focuses on learning and improvement over perfection. You believe the buck stops with you. In a nutshell, this all comes down to whether you accept responsibility for your life, rather than make excuses. You look for what you can control. This is incredibly powerful. When we're always looking to blame someone or something, we quickly fall into victimhood. Rather than look for solutions, we get lost in those excuses, and it keeps us stuck. Guys who take responsibility for themselves can tap into a deeper source of motivation, as psychologist and psychotherapist Sebastian Salarico explains. Taking responsibility empowers us by making us accountable for our own behavior, to think critically, perform well under pressure, and handle challenges with ease. Owning our decisions provide us with a powerful focus on what we want. Responsibility begins with knowing what we want and creating a plan to get these, not because of a sense of duty, but from our own desire. Sure, those trains aren't that loud on here, but they're loud in my head. 5. You want to build others up. We shouldn't confuse a high-quality guy with an alpha male, because it's not about dominance, quite the opposite. A high-quality man seeks to lift others up. He wants those around him to succeed. He's a team player. That's because he isn't insecure in himself, so he doesn't get caught up in petty jealousy. I know a woman who used to date a guy who kept talking about how high value he was. Yet, in reality, he used this self-diagnosed label to create a sense of superiority. He felt justified in belittling her, making everything her fault, and convincing her he was never in the wrong because he was so perfect. Bottom line, there's nothing high value about thinking you're better than everyone else and putting others down. You value purpose. Purpose is the new success. Don't get me wrong, that's not to say that achieving things in life can't be great. As we've already seen, growth brings Don't get me wrong. That's not to say that achieving things in life can't be great. As we've already seen, growth brings with it expansion. Doing well academically, earning good money, climbing the career ladder, building a business, all of these things can feel incredibly rewarding. Yet without meaning behind it, you may find it feels empty or unfulfilling. Plus, a lack of material wealth or accolades in life is not a sign you are unsuccessful either. Meaning and purpose are where we find value, and that's what counts most. That will look different to every man based on your personality's beliefs and preferences. Seven, you are emotionally strong. 8, you're not afraid of a bit of hard work. You don't have to have any laws about marriage. The number of applicants to join Canada's military is soaring. Why hasn't that resulted in more of them in uniform? Ten signs you're developing into the best version of yourself, according to psychology. Practice self-reflection and introspection. Think about shit. Nothing interests me today, Grace. I'm calling it quits. Talk to you tomorrow.